Welcome to Learn English Fast.
Speak English with confidence.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. My name is Henry, and I'm so happy you are here with me today. In this episode, we are going to talk about a very important skill: how to speak English without pausing. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you ever start speaking English and then suddenly stop because you don't know the right word? Or maybe you pause too much because you are thinking in your own language first and then trying to translate into English? If this happens to you, don't worry. You are not alone. Many English learners have this same problem. They know grammar, they know vocabulary, but when it's time to speak, their mind goes blank, and they pause, and pause, and pause. In this episode, I will help you fix this problem. I will show you why we pause too much, how to change your mindset, and what simple techniques you can use to keep speaking smoothly. You will also learn some useful words and phrases that can help you continue speaking, even when you don't know exactly what to say. By the end of this episode, you will have clear steps you can practice every day, so you can speak English with more confidence and without long pauses. So, if you are ready, let's begin our journey to smooth and natural English speaking. Before we talk about how to fix the problem, we need to understand why it happens. Why do English learners pause too much when they speak? There are a few common reasons. Let's go through them one by one. Reason number 1: fear of mistakes. Many learners feel nervous because they don't want to say the wrong word or wrong grammar. For example, you might think, "Oh no, what if I say it wrong? What if people laugh at me?" This fear makes your brain freeze, and then you stop speaking. But remember, mistakes are a normal part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes. Reason number 2: searching for vocabulary. Sometimes you want to say something, but you don't remember the exact English word. For example, you want to say refrigerator, but you forget the word. You stop speaking, and your mind keeps searching. That long pause makes you feel less confident. Reason number 3: translating from your native language. Many learners think in their own language first, then try to translate word by word into English. But translation takes time. For example, in your language maybe you say, "In my home, there is a box cold big food inside keep." Then you try to translate it, and it comes out slowly. That pause happens because you are not thinking directly in English. Reason number 4: nervousness. Sometimes the problem is not words, not grammar, but just nerves. When you speak with a teacher, a friend, or maybe a foreigner, your heart beats faster. You feel pressure. And when you are nervous, your brain works more slowly. That makes you pause. So, these are the 4 big reasons: fear of mistakes, searching for vocabulary, translating from your native language, and nervousness. If you understand these reasons, then you can fix them. And don't worry, later in this episode I will give you simple techniques to reduce pausing and speak more smoothly. Now that we know the main reasons why learners pause too much, let's talk about something very important: your mindset. When most people learn English, they focus on perfection. They think, "I must use perfect grammar. I must choose the exact right word. I must speak like a native speaker." But here is the truth: perfection is not the goal. The real goal is fluency. Fluency means you can speak smoothly, without long pauses, and other people can understand you. Think about this. Even native speakers don't speak perfectly. They make grammar mistakes. They change words in the middle of a sentence, and they use fillers like or you know. But they still sound natural because they keep talking without stopping. For example, imagine you say, "Yesterday go. I went to the park." Yes, there is a grammar mistake at first. You said go instead of went, but you corrected yourself and kept speaking. That is good. That is communication. Now, imagine another example. Yesterday hmm, wait, how to say, I, I, and then you stop. This is not good because the pause is too long. The listener may feel confused, so remember, it's better to make a small grammar mistake and keep speaking than to stop completely and say nothing. If you change your mindset from perfection to fluency, you will feel more relaxed. You will focus on expressing your ideas, not on being perfect. And this change will help you reduce pauses and sound much more confident. All right, now it's time for the most important part, the practical steps. These are simple techniques you can use to reduce pauses and speak English more smoothly. Let's go step by step. Step number 1. Use short and simple sentences. Many learners try to make long, difficult sentences. But when the sentence is too long, you stop in the middle and forget what to say. Instead, speak in short sentences. For example, instead of saying, "I want to tell you about my weekend because it was very interesting, and I did many activities with my family, and we also visited my uncle's house, where we had a big dinner together." You can say, "I want to tell you about my weekend. It was very interesting. I did many activities with my family. We also visited my uncle's house. We had a big dinner together, short and clear." No long pauses. Step number 2. Practice speaking in chunks or phrases. Instead of thinking word by word, learn phrases. For example, "In my opinion," "to be honest," "the reason is," "I would like to." When you use phrases, you don't need to stop and build a sentence from zero. The phrase is already ready for you. Step number 3. Use fillers naturally. Even native speakers pause sometimes, but they don't stay silent. They use fillers like, "well, you know, actually, let me think." These little words give you time to think while still speaking. For example, "Well, yesterday you know, went shopping with my friend." You are still speaking, and there is no awkward silence. Step number 4. Don't translate in your head. This is a big one. When you translate, you stop and think. Instead, try to think directly in English. For example, if you see a dog, don't think of the word in your language first, then change it to English. Just think, dog. One way to practice is to describe things around you in English. "This is my phone. It's black. I use it every day." Step number 5. Keep going, even if you make mistakes. If you forget a word, don't stop. Try to explain it in another way. For example, if you forget the word refrigerator, you can say, "the big machine in the kitchen that makes food cold." This way, you keep speaking, and the listener will still understand you. So, these are the practical steps. Use short sentences, speak in chunks, use fillers, think in English, and keep going even with mistakes. If you practice these steps every day, you will see that your pauses become shorter and shorter, and your speaking becomes smoother and more natural. Now let's talk about some vocabulary and phrases that can help you speak more smoothly. These are like little bridges that connect your ideas and help you continue talking without stopping. First, connectors. Connectors are words that join your sentences together. Instead of pausing, you can use first, then, after that, finally, because, so, but. However, for example, instead of stopping after one sentence, you can say, first, I woke up early. Then, I had breakfast. After that, I went to work. It flows like a story. Second, sentence starters. Sometimes we pause because we don't know how to begin. Sentence starters give you a safe way to start speaking. For example, in my opinion, I think. The reason is, what I mean is, these phrases give you extra seconds to think while still speaking. Third, fillers. We already talked about fillers, but let's add a few more useful ones. You can say, actually, well, you know, let's see. For example, well, I think learning English is fun. Actually, I enjoy listening to podcasts every day. See how natural it sounds? No long silence. Fourth, paraphrasing phrases. When you forget a word, you can still keep speaking by using phrases like, it's like, it's similar to, you can say it's. For example, if you forget the word refrigerator, you can say, it's like a big box in the kitchen. It keeps food cold. So remember, connectors, sentence starters, fillers, and paraphrasing phrases are your best friends. They help you avoid silence, and they make your English sound more natural and confident. Another powerful way to reduce pauses and speak more smoothly is something called shadowing. So, what is shadowing? It's very simple. You listen to a native speaker, maybe from a podcast, a YouTube video, or an audiobook, and at the same time, you repeat what they say. You try to copy their speed, their rhythm, and even their intonation, just like a shadow follows a person. That's why it's called shadowing. For example, imagine you listen to a podcast where someone says, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. and have coffee before work. You immediately repeat after them. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. and have coffee before work. At first, it may feel difficult. You may not be able to follow every word. That's okay. Just try to copy as much as you can. With practice, your mouth will get used to the sounds and your brain will get used to the speed. Why is shadowing so useful? Because it trains your brain and your tongue to work faster. You stop thinking word by word, and you start speaking with the same flow as native speakers. This means fewer pauses and more natural English. Here's how you can practice shadowing every day. Choose a short clip, maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute. Play it and repeat at the same time. Do it again and again until it feels easier. Gradually choose longer clips. If you do shadowing for just 5 to 10 minutes every day, your fluency will improve a lot. You will notice that when you speak by yourself, your pauses are shorter, and your sentences flow more smoothly. Now, let's talk about some daily speaking exercises you can do to train yourself to speak without pausing. These are simple, and you don't need a partner. You can practice alone, anytime, anywhere. Exercise 1. Talk to yourself in English. This is one of the easiest and most powerful habits. Describe what you are doing in English. For example, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making breakfast. I'm walking to the bus stop. When you do this, you practice thinking directly in English. and you don't give your brain time to translate. Exercise 2. Record your voice. Choose a topic. Maybe your weekend, your favorite food, or your daily routine. Speak about it for 1 or 2 minutes and record yourself. Then, listen to the recording. Notice where you paused and try again. Each time, you will become smoother. Exercise 3. Timed speaking. Set a timer for 1 minute. Pick a topic, for example, my favorite movie. Try to speak for 1 full minute without stopping. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Just keep going. When 1 minute becomes easy, try 2 minutes, then 3 minutes. This exercise helps you build confidence and reduce long pauses. Exercise 4. Use a mirror. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. This way, you can also see your expressions and body language. It feels like real communication, and it makes speaking practice more natural. If you add these exercises to your daily routine, even just 10 minutes a day, you will see big progress. You will think faster, speak faster, and pause less and less. Now let's talk about something very important: confidence. One big reason we pause too much is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of what other people will think. Fear of not sounding good enough. But here is the truth. Mistakes are not a problem. Pausing too much is the real problem. If you keep talking, people will understand you, even if your grammar is not perfect. Think about this. Even native speakers pause, but they use fillers like "you know" or "well." They don't stop completely. So, if they can speak with mistakes and fillers, why can't you? The key to confidence is practice. The more you speak, the less nervous you feel. Start small. Maybe talk to yourself or record your voice. Then, slowly try speaking with friends, teachers, or language partners. Step by step, your confidence will grow. And remember, confidence is not about speaking perfectly. Confidence is about speaking without fear. All right, my friends, we have reached the end of today's episode. Let's quickly review what we learned. We talked about why learners pause too much: fear, searching for words, translating, and nervousness. Then we learned an important mindset shift. Focus on fluency, not perfection. After that, I shared practical steps to reduce pauses. Use short sentences, speak in chunks, use fillers, think in English, and keep going even if you make mistakes. We also looked at useful connectors and phrases, the shadowing technique, daily speaking exercises, and how to build confidence. Now here are my final tips. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Just keep talking. Practice every day, even if it's only 10 minutes. Use the tools you learned today: connectors, fillers, and daily exercises. If you practice regularly, you will see progress. Your pauses will become shorter, your sentences will flow better, and your confidence will grow. Thank you so much for listening to the English Learning Podcast. My name is Henry, and I'm really proud of you for taking the time to improve your English today. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and remember, you can speak English smoothly and confidently. See you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.